The suspension on this CB750 Chopper is completely trashed. It needs tires, the forks are bent, the brakes are bad, it needs swing arm bushings among other things. So this video we're going to be focusing on repairing all of those items and getting this thing up to snuff and making it roadworthy. Now the first order of business is going to be rebuilding the front brake system. As you can see here, I got a bunch of cool parts in the ground. We've got brake pads, caliper rebuild, master cylinder rebuild, new lines, and some cool fittings. So that's where we'll start before moving to the rest of the bike.
Wasn't too bad. There she went.
Alright, well we have the master cylinder cleaned. You saw I just took a hone to this thing. So we don't have the most consistent surface finish on this one. It might leak, but you know what? It's better than it was. And then I also cleaned the inside out. So we have the two holes in there. I've cleaned both of those out. The one on the left here, that's actually a very, very tiny hole. I usually feed a wire through it. And you want to make sure it's clear, so do the flashlight test. You can see I have light coming through both of those. If you have that little one blocked off, you're not going to be able to bleed your brakes. So it's very important you have those as clean as can be. So now we're going to get started with a rebuild kit. So I have just a little rebuild kit from K&L, and it will replace all of that junk. So let's get started. All right, once I got that C-clip in there, because I don't have the right C-clip pliers, I just used a socket and then just tapped the socket down, which pushed the C-clip down evenly, and then it just clipped into place. So for installation, that worked fine, but to get it out, it's a little bit more tricky. But now the plunger works as it should. We can put our protective cover on here, along with our little retaining clip. All right, we're set. Master cylinder rebuilt. All right, as you can see, the caliper is back on the bike. I also have the master cylinder on the bike, along with the upper line and then the actual fitting here for the brake switch and then the two lines to come together. So our lower line before was a mixture of kind of a soft rubber line and then the stock hard line that came out of the caliper. Not really an ideal setup for something that's extended like this. There was no real stability in it. Having that, I wanted to try to find a better solution. Now, I got super lucky here. I mean, like really, really lucky. I've had these particular parts in my possession since like, I don't know, 2016 or something like that. This is a Goodrich stainless braided line, and it has a black like Teflon coating on it. Looks really good. This is a -3. And then I have a 10mm by -3 banjo fitting that's chrome. I also had a black one, but I figured chrome would suit this bike better. So that will mount up top. And then the trick fitting is actually this guy right here. And this is actually a -3 to 3/8 thread. So this is going to go straight into the caliper on here. And then our line is going to go straight on top of it like that. So we're not going to need any kind of transitional hard line or anything like that. And then this guy is like just the perfect length. So I've had this and another line in my possession for a long time, and they're always either too short or too long, and this one is just perfect. So I am excited to use it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the bike. We'll get our line set up and see if we can go ahead and get the system bled. I can tell we're moving air at least. Just working on getting fluid down to the caliper. All right, just got fluid down to the caliper. Well, Seth just pulled these things off, and what do you see a problem? It's hard for me to see a problem.
Fred, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, if you look at it from it's all about perspective. So if you look at it from this perspective, we're golden. But you know, optimist, pessimist, optimist, pessimist. Which side are you erring on right now?
Pessimist is looking pretty good, right?
So one idea is, maybe we'll just put them in the bike and then clock them in the optimistic way, and then they're both facing the same direction, and then we're good, and just has more rake.
For more chopper.
Yeah, yeah. All right, here we have one of the fork legs to the chopper. And we got a little bit of a problem here. Pretty bad. So behind me, I've got the press, and you know what? A lot of the things I've seen online made it look pretty easy. So I cut a couple V-blocks out of wood, and got a little piece of aluminum, and we're gonna go for it. So I've already done one leg, and I was very impressed. Now, of course, I know you would like to have a micrometer or something to measure your out of round. I don't really have a surface that I can roll this on that would maintain precision, so we gotta do it kind of an old-fashioned way, just a low-tech way, and basically just holding this thing up, rotating it, and looking for high and low spots. So as of now, you can see how bad that is. Yeah. Much better. These would not be zeroed out on like a dial gauge, but man, they are close. So I am very pleased with that. I don't want to get too carried away and just keep, over bending and stuff like that. So that's where we're going to keep it. some nice brass swing arm bushings here. I might have to hold it up a little bit while you... Okay. Right about there, square. One more. All right. Okay, finally working on addressing this cracked frame here. So, for everybody that says this isn't a chopper, this is definitely a chopper because the frame has been chopped and modified to give it kind of a low fender look. But whoever did it didn't do the back side of them. So, there's no real support. So we've got this cleaned up. I'm going to weld that seam right there, as well as over there, and then this thing should be a lot more structurally sound. Go ahead and put the sissy bar on, and we're gonna be like super close to being done with this, actually.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like really close. Burning off all kinds of junk in there.
Very pretty.
That's probably good. We are in really good shape at this point with the complete suspension overhaul. We fixed the bent forks, we put new fork seals in it, we've got new tires and tubes front and back, we rebuilt the braking system, we fixed the cracked frame, and we did other stuff. So now it's time to just go ride this thing. So what's it like to ride an old school CB750 Chopper? Well, the answer is amazing. I really dig this thing. It's actually super comfortable, and I'm excited to get this thing on a road trip. I know I've talked about this multiple times with this bike, but yeah, we're just kind of getting all of the bikes up to, you know, like good proper riding condition right now before we kind of depart. And obviously right now it's like freaking summertime, so it's just hot. But yeah, as of right now, we got this thing pretty much dialed in. I do need to go ahead and adjust the valves. I like to do that after I put a few miles on them from when they've been kind of resurrected, so to speak, because I always feel like there's going to be a little bit of maybe potential corrosion on a couple valves, and that can affect the lash. So I'll be doing that before too long. We'll resync the carbs, change the oil, and just do like kind of a generic, you know, 100-200 mile tune-up, that kind of thing. But overall, this thing is a lot of fun. Just cruises. Now, some of you might be looking at these handlebars and being like, oh man, those are bent. You would be correct. Now, the front forks were all out of shape. They were bent, as you saw, and the whole front end was just misaligned and everything. So right now the forks are almost perfectly straight. but the bars being bent kind of works with me here. So everything's tweaked to the right, but this bar is tweaked back to the left. So it works out great. It feels like it's going straight. Now the bike's not like trying to pull or anything like that. Right now this bike is pretty much how we like to have them. I like a certain look, I like a certain character to these machines, and I think this one really captures that well. And of course we have it running and riding in a safe manner. We straighten the forks, we got fresh fork seals, fresh oil in them, new wheel bearings front and back, a new chain, new tires, and this thing is just a peach. I've been riding it around and just having a good time on it. As far as what you guys will see next on this bike, I'm really not sure, because I'm not going to be making many changes to it, and I want to try to pack in as much as I can into a single video for you guys, because I think it just makes for a more enjoyable experience. But we do have other content planned, of course. I've mentioned that trip multiple times. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see on this thing. I mean, it's a super fun bike. It's got a lot of character to it, and if you haven't seen that previous video I did, that begs the question of why do you like vintage motorcycles? You gotta go check that one out. It was pretty amazing, and it was really fun to get into character. Now, as far as things I would like to do to this bike in the future, I definitely need to kind of oil this clutch cable. It's a little grabby, and I might have to replace the clutch in general. And beyond that, what this thing needs the most, in my opinion, would be an extension on the center stand, because this thing only sits on the very left side tip of that center stand peg, and it's pretty sketchy. So what I was thinking there is I'll take a piece of 1.5-inch exhaust tubing, cut it down the middle, and just use two 2-inch slots welded on the bottom of the center stand, just to kind of give it a little bit more height, and that should get us fixed right up and have it sitting just right. The side stand, I don't know. I mean, we can use it, but you know what? I get kind of lazy. I don't want to have to pick this bike up off of it. Oh, it's a chopper. It handles like shit. Dragging me. Yeah, still got that turn signal chirper on here. I'm leaving that thing on there just to kind of mess with my friend who's got to ride this, because it's super annoying. But for now, I'm going to close this one off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.